Hello everyone and welcome back to Lost and Found Episode 2. The first goodbye came before any of them were ready to name it. Myra woke early on departure day, the room still dim, the air heavy with a kind of quiet that felt borrowed. For a moment she forgot where she was. Then she saw the unfamiliar ceiling, the half-packed bag by the door, and the folded paper with departure times written in her own careful handwriting. She sat up slowly. Outside, the town was already awake. Someone laughed in the street below. A scooter passed. Life continued with an ease that felt almost offensive. She dressed neatly, smoothing wrinkles that would return the moment she moved. When she stepped into the hallway, she found Noor already there, sitting on the floor with her back against the wall, notebook open on her knees. "You're up early," Myra said. Noor looked up, surprised, then smiled faintly. "I didn't sleep." Myra nodded. She understood that feeling without needing it explained. They sat together in silence. The hostel smelled like coffee and disinfectant. Somewhere a door slammed. Someone else's journey was beginning or ending. It was hard to tell which Asha was the loudest about leaving. She pretended it was nothing, that she left places all the time and would do it again tomorrow. She joked, overpacked snacks, hugged everyone too hard. "I'll visit," she said easily. "You'll see, I'm terrible at staying away." Lena smiled, but her fingers twisted in the strap of her bag. "All right," Lena said, earnest, as if saying it carefully might make it permanent. Noor watched, memorizing again. She did not promise anything out loud. Promises, she had learned, were fragile things. They separated in pieces. Asha left first, waving from the bus window until the road bent and she was gone. Lena stood longer than necessary at the station, as if time might be persuaded by stillness. Noor disappeared quietly, leaving behind only the faint impression that she had ever been there. Myra was last. She stood alone on the platform, suitcase beside her leg, the same way she had stood when she arrived. The symmetry bothered her. She disliked things that felt like they hadn't changed. When the train came, she boarded without looking back. The first week apart felt unreal. Messages flew easily at first, jokes, photos, updates that felt urgent simply because they were new. Myra replied carefully, always on time. Asha sent voice notes from noisy places. Lena asked questions, long ones, thoughtful ones. Noor read everything, responding less, choosing words with care. Then life began pressing in. Myra's parents moved again. It was sudden, unavoidable, the kind of decision made around tables Myra was never invited to sit at. New city, new apartment, new number. She wrote it down, meaning to send it. She didn't. The days stretched into weeks, the weeks into routine. By the time she remembered, it felt awkward, like knocking on a door long after the party had ended. She told herself she'd do it later. Asha kept moving. She crossed borders the way some people cross streets, each new place promising reinvention. She met people easily, left just as easily. Messages became sporadic, not from lack of care, but from abundance of distraction. She thought of the others often, usually late at night when the noise settled and the loneliness crept in sideways. She never admitted that part to anyone. Lena returned home. Home welcomed her with expectations. School. Family. Plans already laid out like tracks she was meant to follow. She tried to keep the thread alive, but every unanswered message tightened something in her chest. When Myra stopped replying, Lena assumed she had said something wrong. When Asha replied days late, Lena told herself that was just who Asha was. When Noor went quiet, Lena worried but didn't know how to ask without sounding needy, so she didn't. Noor watched them drift. She noticed patterns. Who spoke less? Who spoke too much? Who waited? She wrote messages she never sent, long explanations that felt unnecessary once typed out. She believed that if she mattered enough, someone would reach through the silence. No one did. That confirmed what she already feared. Time passed the way it always does, quietly, efficiently. Phones changed. Accounts were forgotten. Messages sank beneath new conversations, new lives. Each girl told herself a version of the same lie. This is normal. This is how it goes. Nothing is wrong. But something was missing. Years later, Myra learned every airport by heart. She knew which terminals echoed, which ones swallowed sound. She watched reunions unfold daily, families colliding in relief, lovers finding each other in crowds, friends waving signs with names written too big. She never waited for anyone. Sometimes, between shifts, she thought of the beach. The storm. The laughter that had come too easily. She told herself nostalgia was just the brain misremembering things. Asha stood on rooftops in foreign cities, looking at skylines she couldn't name. She collected stories like souvenirs, but none of them felt heavy enough to anchor her. Every once in a while, she searched old names online, curiosity disguised as boredom. She never pressed too hard. Lena walked the same streets every day. She passed the train station often. She told herself she liked routine, that stability was a choice, not fear. But sometimes, watching departures, she felt something twist, not envy exactly, but recognition. She kept the old photo in a drawer, nor moved quietly through jobs and cities. She learned how to leave no trace, how to be appreciated without being remembered. She carried the past like a folded letter she didn't know where to deliver. At night, she still wrote. None of them knew that the distance between them was already shrinking, not by chance, not by fate, but by the simple, dangerous act of remembering. End of episode 2.